Super exciting.
Hi guys, so welcome to another episode. This week's goals are kind of interesting. The place has no power, even though it was turned off 3 months ago. I'm required to get an inspection so they can turn it back on again, which is strange, but they pulled the meter. That's why. And I've been having a crazy time getting inspectors to come out here, and it seems like I've been getting scammed left and right. So finally, hopefully, we have a inspector coming out that's going to inspect it, and hopefully we can get power turned on. But in the meantime, what I need to do is I need to kind of like cap up any loose wires, make sure everything's fine. I need to take the main panel off, and hopefully we pass. Because if not, it's probably going to cost more money. But I think those are the goals for this week, just to get everything done.
So to elaborate a little bit more on that scam, essentially I called 30 or 40 electricians and I needed them to come out to inspect it so I can get the power rehooked up. So the power company requires you to have a line inspection whenever the power has been disconnected for more than a year. Even though this property didn't have the power disconnected for more than 3 months, I think they thought there was some sort of meter tampering, and they thought there might have been a potential that a fire might have started because it wasn't winterized. So what ended up happening was I had to call the city inspector, and the funny thing about the city inspector is his voicemail literally says, "Hi, you have reached," his name, "I'm unable to come to the phone, but leaving multiple messages does not help me help you. And calling me multiple times also does not help me help you. I will get to you when I get to you." And those are literally his words. So with that in mind, I didn't really want to bother the guy, so I called him once a week, and I could never get a hold of him. And a lot of things in the house require electricity to finish, which you might imagine. So I just Googled electricians near me, and I went down the entire list. I called probably 30 or 40 people, left messages for all of them. Only one guy called me back. And little did I know, I should have Googled him first or looked at some reviews, but he apparently has been investigated by the SEC. He's got multiple lawsuits against him, and he also had a good rating on Google, but once you start reading his reviews, like all the 1-star reviews are real, and all the 5-star reviews are left by his family. So I should have did my due diligence. He basically scammed me out of like $300. He refused to even get out of the truck unless I paid him cash first. Then when he got in the house, he didn't know how to open the electrical box and tried to leave. After that, he tried to tell me I needed $20,000 worth of electrical work, and he had to pull a 1/0 line to the water meter, which was approximately 20 feet away, but it was going to cost me $9,000 in materials alone. And luckily, I know a little bit about raw materials, and I thought to myself, 1/0 wire is only $5 a foot at Home Depot. For 20 feet, it should be like $100, and you're going to charge me $9,000 for this? And I just told him, thank you for your time. I'll let you know. So I'm glad I dodged that bullet, kind of. I mean, I still lost out on the getting out and getting into the house fee, but ultimately I saved myself the $20,000 he would have scammed me out of.
Hey guys, I think the goal really today is to remove a lot of these fire pole stations and the lights, because apparently according to code, I'm not allowed to have them unless they work, and I'm pretty sure they don't work. So I'm going to be removing those. So I'm going to do a time lapse.
So there's also a funny story about these, because these were told to me by my inspector, local inspector, that I had to remove, but turns out he was wrong.
I have no idea how to get that out. I don't want to break it, so I'm going to go look up a manual later, and I'll just come back to that one later.
So the actual electrical inspector for the city came by and he said, "What are you doing? Why are you taking all of these out?" And I was like, "The local inspector told me to take them out." He's like, "That guy is a moron. You could have these for private residence, and the school paid a lot of good money to keep these in. I don't know why you're removing them." I was like, "He's the only guy that has the power to let me live in this place or not, so that's why I followed his instructions. This story gets worse, just wait.
So I got a bunch of these boxes I gotta cap up, and they used to have these fire alarms in them. So I bought standard caps, but I'm not sure if you can tell, the holes don't line up or even come close to lining up. So what I'm gonna do is I have a drill bit. I'm gonna use this as a guide. And basically I'm just gonna put this on the back here and drill through it. So I'll have a cap to be able to cap those up. And bam, we have a weird looking cap, but it's gonna work.
So on my re-inspection with my electrical inspector, he said, I talked to the town and they said you don't have to remove any of these. So stop what you're doing right now. So I did all of this in vain.
Well, I messed up. I think that was one that actually was larger and had already a flasher in it. So I used the wrong template. But luckily I do have the other one, so let me go grab that. I just looked at the other one. The bolt holes are the same. So I may have bolted it into the wrong holes. So we're gonna try to fix that. I'm laughing because I did so much unnecessary work.
This guy didn't even know the half of it yet.
Box already has standard holes for the original plate. I just didn't notice them. So I didn't have to drill those holes at all, but you know, it's on there and it's secure. Now just another 50 more.
Obviously, looking back at past Jason, I am laughing because I find it hilarious. The unfortunate thing also is the inspector that gave me a bunch of terrible advice and told me to take all these out, he abruptly stopped working for the town and just disappeared. So nobody knows where he is. No one knows what's going on. They're scrambling to find a new inspector. And I thought it would be funny just as a joke if I called in and he'd be like, hey, that last inspector, he inspected my place and gave me the thumbs up. Did he ever file that report before he left? Obviously, they're probably not going to let me pass just on that. They'll probably send out another inspector, but they might be particular about something else, so I'm not really quite sure what to do. Our original electrical inspector said, I don't even know, it's such a huge mess. I'm not sure how you're going to get this re-inspected. And they're trying to scramble and, finish up all the work the last guy did. So I'm sure that's going to be another fun thing to do. Just another hiccup and bump in the road. But essentially, all these fire pole stops have been removed on the first floor in the annex building, and that's about when I stopped because the electrical inspector told me, don't take these out. You can keep them in and they'll be perfectly fine. So this is the last one I took out, and the entire panel's out, so everything's de-energized and no longer powered. As I was removing some of the fire stuff, I realized this piece on the ground, which looks like it's cast. And that's not good because that came from there. And this is definitely loose, so that's not ideal. I guess we'll see what it takes to fix all this stuff. Hey guys, today is Thursday morning, and today is a special day because it is electrical inspection day. Now, I'm very nervous. The inspector is late, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, everything goes smooth and then we'll have electricity. I have never taken electricity and running water so for granted until I bought this place, which has no electricity and no running water. So every time I come here, I make sure, one, I don't eat anything before, and two, I don't drink that much. So fingers crossed, hopefully things go well. I'll update you guys afterwards. Thanks. Oh, the inspector just left, and I guess the good news is it's a pretty easy fix. So what we need is a 0-aught ground wire that goes back to the pipe inlet for the water line. It seems like there are ground stakes already, and hopefully that's it. So I'm currently driving right now to go get some ground wire, and hopefully we should be able to install that and get re-inspected. Here to pass code, I need to run a 1-aught ground wire all the way to the other room, to the water inlet. Here's that ground wire in question. They used a 2 AWG instead of a 1-aught. There she is. So normally, that wouldn't be that exciting. But if you remember before, there was a huge hole there before. And that means we have power. So let's go try it out.
All right, let's go down to this creepy basement and see what is going on. This is exciting. This building hasn't seen power in months, and now we are going to flip the power switch on. Oh, hopefully we won't need these anymore. It is a bit humid. All right. Number one, gotta flip this bad boy on. Make sure everything's closed. Fresh approval. All right, that should be on now. Now we gotta come over here to the main power box. Hopefully not electrocute ourselves. All right, so we have our 200 amp, 1, 2. All right, so we don't need the fire alarm on because that's been disconnected. Laundry room, range. We'll just turn all of these on slowly. If we smell anything, range 3rd floor, we don't need that. Air compressor, I don't even know what that goes to. These are large, 3rd floor, 2nd floor. Emergency generator, we don't need that. Basement panel. Whoop, I just heard something turn on. Oh, that's our dehumidifier just turning on. Here's our other panel. I have no idea what these are, but we will find out. All right, now let's see if the lights turn on. Wow, look at that. That is exciting. Electricity. All right, okay, that's on. Okay, we still need, okay, that's a drinking fountain that's on. Maybe we don't need that on. This is on. Oh, okay. Here we go. First time seeing this place with power. All right. Bathroom. Okay, still kind of creepy on that light portion. This was a classroom before. There's a light switch here. All right, definitely need to switch those out. That is broken. Now we know. All right. It's kind of cool. I mean, should probably unplug this. I don't know if anyone's using this. Just wasting power. But let's go around and see what else is turned on now that electricity is on. This is wild. This is wild. I have a room in here. Is there a light switch? Ah, here we go. All right. That's nice. Wow. This is the first time. Very exciting. There's a lot of light switches. Okay, I don't know what that does. That doesn't turn anything on. Okay, that turns on that light. Oh, that turns on the light in here. All right, they left me a shop vac. Floors look okay. First time seeing them in light. I don't know what these switches are for. Oh, more lights. Interesting. Those 2 lights are powered by this one switch. These 2 lights are hallway lights. What about this one? Oh, this is also a hallway light. It's a 3-way switch. I do not know what that is. Okay, that just turns on that light. Not sure if that's a, hey, I need assistance. Okay, there's a toilet brush here. That's nice. And they left a key for this closet, which is nice. I mean, this is a big space, kind of. And that's the laundry room, which we've never seen. Let's look over here. Here's a bathroom. Ooh, that's a creepy bathroom. This has like carpet in here. Once again, unsure of why. But, oh, sorry, the fast pan. Here is another storage room. Oh, there we go. There we go. Largish size storage room. New PVC pipe, do not touch. Dishwasher installed in 2000. Okay, so that's actually 14 years old already. All right. Oh, we do have a circuit panel here. And I suppose none of these were ever turned off. Nope. Okay. Basement lights, boiler lights. Very cool. This is exciting. This is exciting. Well, I guess I should get back to it then, huh? See what's wrong with these things. And fix these doors. Check out the rest of the building. This fan needs to be replaced. I do not know what that is, but... And there are sewage pipes coming through here that I didn't notice. That's the annex. I think that is for this generator here. Oh man, it's a mess down here. I'm gonna have to clean this place up and put that panel back on. That's exciting. So I've been walking around and it's hilarious because I never thought this would be super apparent, but everywhere there's a light that somebody left on, you could hear a buzzing from the transformer, which isn't something I'd normally think of when, oh, is a light on? So, and all these closets don't have light switches. All right, so this closet doesn't have a light switch. What it has is this little switch in the wall that you press and the light turns off. It's kind of strange, but kind of cool at the same time. It's kind of cool, except for when the door doesn't close. So the light stays on indefinitely. It's funny because even when they use this door, it wouldn't close all the way. So they added a little latch to keep the door shut. So this fridge, which was really excited about, unless there's a switch somewhere, is 100% broken. There is literally no, I mean, I don't know if there's a thermometer in there, but it is hot air blowing in this thing. Oh, there is a thermostat. It's on off. Okay. There it is. Oh, that's exciting. That's okay, so there's a switch to turn it on. But the weird part is, why are the fans on and how do I turn the fans off? Because it's, I mean, there's no plug that I can see. I'm assuming it's behind the wall somewhere or hardwired in. And it is not turning off, so I'm not really quite sure. So if anyone knows, let me know. I don't know about you, that is so cool. You got the lights and everything. You can put some Coca-Cola logos or whatever. But the problem is, I don't know how to turn the fan off, so it's just constantly blowing at max speed. So I might have to turn it off from the circuit breaker, which is also not great. So this freezer didn't turn on. And I was like, oh, it looks like it's plugged in back there. I'm not sure if you can see that. And then I realized it goes through the cabinet to an outlet, which is wild. So I guess I'm gonna plug that in and see if this turns on. Now she's plugged in. I don't know if it feels cold in here. Oh, that's off. Let's turn that to, oh, okay. All right. Let's give that a few seconds and see if that gets colder. We have a panel behind this door and we are going to attempt to turn all of these on. So hopefully we can, oh, I see power turning on already. Lights turning on. I think some of these are for the mini split. Oh yeah, you hear the mini split turn on. Wow. I don't know what this is. It's very vibrating. And the lights are on here. I'm not really quite sure what that is. Those are the lights. That doesn't sound great. So let's figure out which one that one was and turn that off before we cause a ruckus here. All right, we finally found the circuit that turns that off. But wow, this is bright. Look how bright this is. I've never seen it this bright before. I can't wait to vacuum that stuff up, which seems silly, but you know, it's been like that for so long. I'm just tired of looking at it. All right, office. Nice and bright. Wow. At this point, I don't even care what the power company is charging me. This is exciting. Wow. Now I just need water, right? Oh, the microwave's on too. I could make myself some Hot Pockets in here. Wow.
And I wasn't lying. I really, really wanted to vacuum this stuff up because every day I walk in, I see this, and I'm like, ugh, I gotta get rid of that. So here I am, cleaning it up.
Well, that should be good enough until I get the real vacuum in here. I don't know what it is, but it smells like a public library in here. I don't know if that's the chemicals they used or what, but it smells like a public library. If that sounds weird to you, let me know. Last time someone mentioned that I didn't really explain what this does real well. So this is a non-contact humidity sensor. There's a sensor on the back, you put it against the wall, and it'll tell you the humidity within 19 millimeters of this sensor. So every day I come in here and I put this on the exact same spot and I see if the wall has dried out. So let's do that. So generally I'll put this center mass right in the middle of the wall, and you see it says 53.6%. This is a relative humidity because generally the last couple of times I've come in here, it has been somewhere around 60%. So 53.6 means it is starting to dry out. And what we really want is we want the walls, after we fix all the gutters in the roof, the wall humidity to be similar to one of an internal wall. So this internal wall is 17%. So when it drops down to maybe like 20%, then we can consider repairing the walls because we don't want too much humidity trapped in the walls. And also, if there is a lot of humidity in the walls, what's gonna happen is, let's say we put new plaster over it, it's gonna dry out still. It's still gonna permeate through that plaster, but what's gonna happen is, as that moisture dries out, it's gonna shrink. So it's gonna crack. So that's gonna cause a lot of issues for us later, and we're gonna have to redo the wall again. So we don't wanna do the work twice. So that's why we measure the humidity in each of the walls. This one has dried out a lot. This is down to 33%, which is fantastic. I mean, we could check different pockets, 43, 49, 50, 59. But the area that we've opened up is really drying out real well. So that's good. So these two walls, this wall and the one next door, were particularly problematic. But they've dropped a lot, 31. 47, this wall's still a little humid, but that's good news. This wall was really bad, and this room still has a musky smell to it. So I'm excited to see what this is. 55, that is not surprising. It has dried out a little bit, but still is very wet, like 62. This is like something we would normally expect. 55, 62, it's still leaking from here probably. So once we fix the gutter right above here, we're gonna be able to see if this is starting to dry out. If not, we'll have to cut open the wall a little bit, let it dry out a little bit more. As a point of reference, interior walls should be anywhere between 10 to 20% humidity. And it's selected on masonry right now because these are all plaster and cement walls. After the daily rounds, it seems like most of the walls have dried to some degree. And this is just from cleaning out the gutter and just making sure a lot of the water isn't infiltrating. So I've laid down some tarp on some areas just to make sure that the water doesn't go into the leaking spots. And finally today we have our power turned on. So that means we can start transporting stuff over. I will still have to transport probably, 100 gallons, 200 gallons of water over to mix up all the materials and clean all the tools. But that should be soon, which is exciting.
Thank you for making it this far. Please like and subscribe. And if you want to watch some other videos, we have some other videos as well. And that's a wrap for this week/month because this took 3 weeks probably to film. And I will see you all next week. Thanks. Bye.